Okay, I'm going to do another walk around video with commentary just so people can know a little bit more about the car. So this is my 2011 Cadillac CTS-V Coupe. It has 34,300 and some miles on it. Clear title, no accidents, anything like that. I'm going to try to point out any imperfections in the vehicle. It's a little windy out here, so hopefully the video picks up my my voice. But the previous owner had the headlights he had somebody take them apart and take all the chrome out of the headlights, and I guess when they put them back together they didn't seal them great, so there's a little bit of condensation that water that dried up in there. When I got the car, I took the headlights back out, resealed them, put them in the oven, and haven't had any leaks since. But it's something I wanted to eventually, replace the headlights. Or there's a company that you can send them out to, and they'll redo them and make them look brand new and change everything. He had also installed some Morimoto lights that turn these different colors. I never hooked them up. They're just white, but it has a kit that comes with it. You can hook it to your phone and make it change colors, but just not my thing. So these are aftermarket grills and emblems. I have the stock chrome ones in boxes. See if there's very few. Some of these are bugs. I just took the car out for a half-hour drive, just so that way I can show the temperatures and oil pressure and everything. And I'll take pictures of anything, but there's a couple small little rock chips. We got gnats everywhere around here this time of year. There's one here. This headlight looks a lot better than the driver's side, but I have not been able to find any dings or dents anywhere on the car. It's been since the previous owner had it garage kept, and since I've owned it, it's been kept in this garage, which is temperature controlled. All of the vents and stuff I did with this is plasti dipped, so it's removable. You can just peel it right off, and the chrome is perfect underneath. Same with this strip that runs across here. That's just plasti dip. Let's see what else. So the front tires probably have, I don't know, 4,000 miles on them maybe. The rear tires I was planning on getting drag radials, but nothing was available at the time in the size, so I threw these Federals on. They work fine for cruising back and forth to work and everything, but with the car making 700 horsepower at the wheel, they're not too good for traction. So I have a separate set of drag radials that I put on like in the summertime. But I did have this dipped, but since the car is ceramic coated, it's very hard to get plasti dip to stick to it, so it didn't look great, so I just peeled it off and got rid of it. The tail lights, the emblems are aftermarket, handmade emblems. The originals come with the car. I have like all that stuff. Same with the rear one. And this is an overlay sticker that goes inside the factory emblem that I have plasti dipped. This is I think the same, or this is, yeah, I plasti dipped that too. This is plasti dipped, so that comes off. If somebody likes chrome better than black, I just prefer black. The original colors on these vents are gray, and this down here is chrome, so this is plasti dipped. And I have been plasti dipping cars for about 10 years, so I've seen horror stories with people not being able to get the dip off. These should peel right off with no problem. And if you have any issues, a little bit of WD-40 or paint thinner or whatever will just take it right off. Or I use xylene. The tail lights are all tinted. These are the factory ones. They're tinted with, they were done by a professional in a paint shop. So I have, in order to get it through inspection, I didn't want to, you can remove the tint, you can buff it or whatever and get that off. I decided I didn't want to mess them up, so I took, and the LEDs are so bright that I've had the car 3.5 years. I've never been pulled over once for it. But I do have an extra set of the tail lights, the two sides, and the third brake light that come with the car that are stock. I got them off eBay from junk cars or whatever. There's a few scratches and stuff in them, but they're nothing major. But if somebody wanted to remove the tint, they could do that. This is the kit that came with the headlights that, like I said, I never hooked it up, wasn't important to me. Here's the factory emblems, and so there is a couple little scratches that you can't really see when you close the trunk lid. I don't know, they were there when I got the car. And I think if there's anything else on the outside. As far as I know, the brakes pads and the rotors are stock. I looked, the thicknesses are fine, everything seems fine. They squeal a little bit in the front when you come to a stop. Like occasionally you'll hear a little squeaking, probably just because they're high performance pads. But the I said I just got back from a little half-hour cruise, take some pictures. But here's the inside of the car. We'll fire it up. Never had a problem with the car starting or the battery going dead or anything. It always just fires right up. It doesn't, never had a drip, leak, burning oil, anything. When I go to change the oil, it's exactly where it was when I, first did the oil. On occasion, I do get a message that pops up here that says AFL lamps need service, which is for the auto focusing headlights. It doesn't bother me. You just hit the button and it turns off. But the headlights, where everything works on the headlights and all that stuff. No check engine lights, no, none of that stuff. Let's see, there's the alcohol content is 12%, just because I'm running on 93. I do not run E85 during the cooler months. The car, if you wanted to, you could increase the fuel pumps and push, run E85 all year long, or if you're in a hotter climate, it wouldn't be a problem. But I just prefer to keep it running 93. I very rarely ever get to use the power that the car makes, so since I just take it back and forth to work. Let's see the mileage. Currently at 34,357. And it'll go up occasionally, a little tiny bit, just because if I take people for test drives or something. But you see my average speed's 37 miles an hour. The oil pressure, so that's after a half-hour trip with the car being at 200 degrees. How much fuel is left? Batteries good. Trans temp 167 degrees. Intake air is 100, and that tip goes down as you're moving. That's about it. Oh, the way that the tuner has the car set up is to, like, if you're just driving the car, you can just put it in drive, and it drives like a normal car. It has pretty light shifts, kind of like, I guess, like if it was stock. I typically run it in manual mode, which you just slap it over, and then it tells you you're in sport mode, and it tells you what gear you're in over here, and that way I can just see what gear I'm in. And then if you are out playing around and you want to get on it, if you manually shift it, like I'm not driving it and I can't do this with the phone in my hand, but if you're doing like 40 mile an hour and you manually shift it into second, he has the car programmed to shift at a certain shift point or certain RPMs, so it will shift for you at wide open throttle, which is on a street tire you're not going to do that. And if you don't turn off the traction control, of course, the car's going to bog out as it starts to spin. And the traction control is here, and it tells you you've turned the traction control off. It has two different suspension modes, sport and touring. Everything works. And then the cutouts are programmed into the openers 1 and 2, and this opens up the cutouts, and then, which I very rarely use that either, I guess I'm getting too old. And then this closes the cutouts, and it stays pretty quiet in the car. It does not have cowlick converters. It has headers and straight pipes back to the stock exhaust, which you can see all that in the pictures. But here's the car. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. Anybody wants anything different that I don't have picture wise, let me know, and I will let you know. Thanks for watching.